Hello Satnam, it's me Shakti Sundari, and I'm back today with the next reading from the Yukti verses, Lauren Vacher's amazing book, the Radiance Sutras, where he's translated the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Very, very ancient tantric text full of 112 meditations for enlightenment, awakening, delight, ecstasy, the joy and wonder of life. Today we are on Yukti verse 34, so that's only 34 out of 112 meditations that we have to delight us. Actually, I wanted to say something about that before I read today, which is that if you've been following this with me, or well, wherever you are, if you've been following, if you're joining today for the first time, you know, I've been doing these on a daily basis, and what I have been made very aware of is how profoundly rich each of these individual meditations is. So, you know, I'm reading one a day, but actually, you know, you could take just one of those meditations and meditate with that one meditation for a week, a month, a year. You know, they're that rich. They have so much potential for realization within them. You know, each one is just such a gift, like a jewel, you know. So, yes, enjoy this journey as I'm enjoying this journey so much. But if you feel to, go back and look at one or come to one that really, really resonated for you, you know, the words or the actual practice of the meditation, and dive a little bit deeper with it. Take that and make that your practice. Dedicate yourself to that practice, to the words, to the sounds, to the practice for several days, a week, a month, or longer, just to have a sense of deepening with one practice, because they're so rich, and I almost feel like, in a way, I'm doing them an injustice by like reading every day. It feels like we're rushing through, you know, the most glorious, glorious, glorious experience. Like, in a way, I would like to just stay with one and savor it, and savor it, and savor it, and savor it into infinity, you know, because there's just so much there in each one. I wanted to just say that. And another sharing from me is that I did go dancing last night, which is wonderful because I hadn't been for a while, and dance is such a vital part of my being, my life, my essence, my joy, my connection with divine. And it was just so ecstatically beautiful. And there was one guidance that Christian de Souza, the teacher, gave that, you know, I recognize, I'd done many times before. It was part of my own training 16 years ago when I trained as a neo dance teacher. But to be held in the space, to be guided through it, what an experience, and just to remember. So what we did was so simple. You know, we had already been dancing for a while, so I was very, very embodied and ecstatic already in a way. The music was perfect. It's a great energy. Some people weren't yet really connected to themselves. So Christian took us through this very simple exercise of making the movement in the body very, very small. Very, very small. So the whole total body is involved, but all the movements are very, very small. And then with the increase in sound, as the volume went up, or as the energy and the music went up, we would increase our movements, our physical movements, until our movements were massive. And then we would play with that small and big and small and big, small and big on our own, and then we did it with a partner as well. But what I experienced in that, and you know, I know this because I had experienced this 16 years ago for the first time, is that there's something really exquisitely ecstatic about feeling fully and being totally present and condensing the sensing into a small range of movement. It becomes absolutely ecstatic. because there's so much energy rushing through the body. And sometimes when we make our movements big, which is often my tendency to be big, you know, and fast and energetic, that energy can be discharged in a way. It's almost like, oh, I can't tolerate, no, it's not that I have that thought, but it's almost like it's almost too much energy to hold. But if we are able to hold that energy and allow it at the same time make the movement smaller, it's just such intense, sublime ecstasy. And then also what I was experiencing was that, so what that meant was that the bigness of my physical movement was being experienced energetically in the small movement, and vice versa. And then when the movement went big, there was still this core of small within. So just like the meditations in the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra and the Radiance Sutras, where we go out and in with the breath, or open and close with the body, those polarities become one. And that's the ecstasy. You know, because this path is about non-duality. So we eventually recognize that those two polarities bring us into an ecstatic alignment of oneness within our own being. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to go on to read from the Sanskrit from Yukti verse 34, which today is about the elements. And again, it's a repetition of, focus, but we haven't had this verse before. So Yukti verse 34. Asya sarvasya vishvasya parianteshu sam antata adva prakriyaya tatvam shaivam dhyatva maha udaya. I'm going to read it again. Asya sarvasya visvasya pariantesu sam antata Adva prakriyaya tatvam shaivam dhyatva maha udaya. The English translation. The air I am breathing was exhaled in ecstasy by an ancient sun. This earth I am standing on was born of cosmic fire. The blood flowing through my veins is as salty as the primordial ocean. The space permeating my body is infinite as the space all around. Above, below, to all sides within. The elements of the universe are engaged in their ceremony of delight. This is my religion. The attraction between suns is the same as the love pulsating in my heart. I'm just feeling the vibration, the buzz of these words. You know, they really make my body hum with delight. The attraction between suns is the same as the love pulsating in my heart. We are love. Everything is love. Energy is love. We are energy. Everything is love. This time on the planet now is about us remembering that we are love and gradually letting go of all those things that inhibit us from living from the heart. The call to divine union that is being felt by so many, myself included, it's been my absolute soul's calling for years now. Divine union, divine union, divine union, within as without, is about that transition to a heart-centered existence. globally. We are rising, we are ascending from the solar plexus chakra to the heart chakra, to an era where we live from the heart, not from the power center, from masculine to feminine. That's why there's this awakening of the feminine. But in the heart, the feminine and the masculine meet. So she's risen and she's calling him to come, come, come. Come meet me in the heart, beloved. Anyway, I'm digressing a bit. That's okay. The air I am breathing was exhaled in ecstasy by an ancient sun. Get that. Two things there. An ancient sun. So our connection through time. Whoop, look, the finger comes close. We're on this continuum of time, and we are part of this infinite continuum of time of the expression of life. An ancient sun, the same as the air I am breathing now. So there's this connection through time. Exhaled in ecstasy. So again, supreme ecstasy, the utter celebration of aliveness. Gases in the air. We breathe, we inhale, we exhale. I think of how I exhaled and inhaled yesterday at the dance in ecstasy. I wonder where my exhale of ecstasy is now. You know, where is that now? Where's that exhale of ecstasy? In others, in the universe, in London, all around. We are connected to the infinite exhale of the ancient suns in this one being, the air I am breathing now. Connection of finite to infinite, small individual embodiment of divine to the divine cosmic consciousness of all. The earth I am standing on was born of cosmic fire. It was once fire, you know, the big bang or the explosion, the molten hot lava that created. Now it's solid. One element becomes another element. They are all connected, the 5 elements. So much a part of yogic practice is an understanding of these elements and how they operate within our being. Do you know which element is most dominant in your being? Are you aware when you're being watery, when you're being earthy, when you're being fiery, when you're being air-like? Which qualities dominate in you? How do they change? How does that impact on your relationships with others and in how you choose to use your time and direct it and what you do with your life and your being? You know, be aware of how these elements flow through you and to bringing balance to them. Nothing wrong or right about it, but just aware. The earth I am standing on was born of cosmic fire. So once again, the past, the present, a continuum of time, one, all now. The blood flowing through my veins is as salty as the primordial ocean. Primordial is the original, where we came from. So each of these metaphors speaks of the beginning of time. Primordial, original, salty, our blood, the water of life. My flesh, my blood. You know, thinking again, oh, what the Christ, we drink blood. You know, remember me, this is my blood, this is my body. We are the divine. Women, we bleed, blood, blood. This is our connection to the element of water. The water of life, red, beautiful, alive. The space permeating my body. Yes, again, you know, it might seem confusing to the mind to think of the body as being space, but really we're just elements, particles dancing. There's a lot of space here, and the space is the same as the space above, below, all around and either side of me. When we meditate, we can really get a sense of being one with the space and how that space just permeates everything. The space permeating my body is infinite as the space all around. There is no separation really, and that's the thing that we again remember with these practices is that there is no separation. We are one. There's this condensed particles here in this being speaking now, but really this is just life force moving through. Above, below, to all sides, within, the elements of the universe are engaged in their ceremony of delight. So joyous, yeah? So joyous. 5 elements, again, an invitation to connect with the elements today in your meditation. When I say that, it doesn't mean necessarily that you have to sit as I'm sitting now on the floor, cross-legged with your back straight. If that is one way we all know and we imagine that's meditation. Yes, that is one way, but we can be meditating all the time in different ways too, just by paying attention to the breath, by being aware of the blood flowing through us. It's just taking your awareness there. The elements of the universe are engaged in their ceremony of delight. It's like a wedding almost, isn't it? We are celebrating. It's a ceremony. There's a ritual to it also. Everything has its place. When we engage in ceremony or ritual, it signifies something. It makes it more particular and magical. This is my religion. So again, we don't need churches, we don't need Bibles, we don't need an idea of an external God or figurines of Christ or whoever else. We don't need any of that. We simply need to pay attention to what's here, embodied, manifest in the elements within ourselves and all around. The attraction between suns is the same as the love pulsating in my heart. That one line in itself could be a divine meditation to sit and rest with an awareness in the heart and contemplate how that is the same as the energy of the sun. The sun, the suns, many suns. And then there will be an experience of oneness. Once again, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have comments, questions, feedback, experiences to share, please share them below here on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel where I'm posting all of these as well. You can go back and catch up with them there if you want to pick yourself a meditation to focus on for longer. And join me tomorrow for the next Yukti verse from the Radiance Sutras. Sat Nam, and much love from my heart, pulsing with love.